Back here in Nigeria, the House of Representatives has called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to suspend the implementation of the increment in automated teller machine transaction charges, given the economic situation in the country. The decision of the House was sequel to the adoption during Tuesday's plenary of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Marcus Onobu, the member representing Asian Central, Asian West, Egweben Federal Constituency of Edo State. Onobu noted that the Apex Bank, through a recent circular, prescribed an increase in ATM withdrawal charges and a discontinuation of the free ATM withdrawals for customers using other banks' ATMs, thereby imposing additional financial burden on Nigerians. Now, Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us to discuss this development and the need to protect bank customers against high bank charges. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us, Dr. Dayo Sobowale. Mr. Dayo Sobowale.
Congrats. So
I'm not a doctor. I'm Dayo Sobowale. Thank you very much.
Who knows? You might just be coming in the offing. But thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to start by getting your reaction to this call by the House of Representatives saying that this is not the right time for the CBN to be imposing charges on Nigerians, looking at all of the hardship that Nigerians are going through. What's your take?
Yes, I'm with the National Assembly on this. It's a patriotic and very welfareistic call. And I advise not only the CBN, but government itself to step in. And you see, this National Assembly, even its predecessors, have always tried to intervene when they see mass charges like this that will affect people lower down the social and financial ladder. It is not on. And again, it is against banking ethics. You get me? Banking is based on trust, integrity, and protection of customers' deposits. But if you put unanticipated, unexpected high charges arbitrarily on banks, you will lose the trust of or confidence of the customers, and invariably they leave the bank. Although it does not affect these Nigerian banks, because it seems they make their profits mainly on deposits, fixed deposits, and from the corporate organizations. But the customer base is made of less financially endowed Nigerians. And it is on behalf of this that the National Assembly is making this appeal. It is not the first time it is making it, and it made a relevant comparison that in these austere times, like you rightly noted, the National Assembly fought for Nigerians when the power sector raised, it has been fighting for it since the time when Fashola was Minister of Power. But eventually, the increase came in. The same thing with the increase in the telecommunications sector. And to add this to that, I think it's adding salt to injury. So I want the National Assembly to follow through on the demands that made on the. You see, if you look at your bank, your account, you will see what they charge. It's almost about the money you are withdrawing. It is inhuman, it is unprofessional. And of course, I don't think they know anything about patriotism. So let's leave it at that for now.
I really appreciate the angle you brought, or the points that you brought up, Mr. Sobowale, regarding what we saw with the telcos and the electricity tariff, and for the need for the reps to actually see this one through. Yes. That needs to be emphasized. But I'd like to also ask you about how you respond to the justifications that we're hearing from the banks as well as CBN, saying that the increases are reflecting economic realities and inflation, and on the banks end, they're saying that these higher fees are necessary to maintain ATM infrastructure across Nigeria.
It is a fallacy, and I can tell you that. You see, there was a government policy, and I think it is to spread banking services to the country. When I was in the bank, they even gave branches, allocated branches, rural branches for us to open. those occasionally they politicize that, and you have branches where customers don't come. But the essence then was to create the banking habits in Nigerians. Now, if Nigerians are adapting to electronic banking, and even vulcanizers, mechanics, you go there, you see POS people. They do their transaction. Even if you don't have money, you want to pay the mechanic, use the POS. Now, if the charges on the banking charges on the POS is now more than almost as much as what you are withdrawing, what is the use of having a bank account?
Yeah.
So they are trying to create hostility to the banking environment. And then again, it's antithetical to the essence of having ATM. ATMs are meant to create convenience, so that you don't queue. You know, we used to have long queues in banks, but when the ATMs came, they shortened that. Now, if people look at their bank account and see the charges, they won't go near the banks. So they have defeated the purpose of making Nigerians have good banking habit, and at the same time, the convenience that the ATM is creating. People don't want to go near the ATM now. You rather withdraw your money, look for somebody to keep it for you. And the purpose of creating the banking habit is being defeated. So it is not in the banking interest. Of course, if they suffer as a result, they don't have my sympathy. Because you know that the Nigerian private informal sector is what is keeping this country going, in spite of all the hike in prices in all needed things to make life comfortable for Nigerians. So the NAS should see this through, put on the pressure. If possible, summon the CBN governor to come and rationalize it. We have had enough of these cost-reflective increases in commodities that make life easier for people to live in.
Very apt, Mr. Dayo Sobowale. But considering the fact that, in fact, you already touched on the fact that we have a significant unbanked population. In fact, the statistics here says we have approximately 28.8 million adults completely financially excluded. And of course, what we should be looking at is how to bring these people into the banking circle. But how do you think banks can balance that need to boost revenue or generate revenue and also give consumers a good banking experience?
They have mismanaged it. Get me? This is a very good example. Get me? If you say you are you are going away from, we used to call it brick and mortar banking, whereby you build branches, and now you say you don't even need to come to the bank, transact business on your phone, and then the charges are high on your phone. It means you either come back to the bank or seek an alternative avenue to transact your business and make profit. Because if you see bank charges are weighing on your income, you look for an alternative. And I can bet you there will always be an alternative. Get me? Because if there have not been alternatives for Nigerians, so many people will have gone under. With the petrol increase, with the communication, NEPA, and all these things. But somehow, I've always said that Nigerians are resilient and versatile. You get me? But they elected people into the National Assembly to look after their interests. That's why I commend NAS, and I say it's not a matter, it's not a newspaper battle. Let them summon those who are in charge and let them account for what I'm sure they can defend, rather than to make profit. So in essence, they have not been able to marry good customer service with profitability. They have allowed profitability to dictate the pace, and that's wrong.
Well said, Mr. Sobowale. Now, I hope that NAS heeds this call that you're making and sees this through.
They watch our eyes.
They better do it, because I'm not. I mean, as a Nigerian, it's affecting me too. But Mr. Sobowale, I'd like to ask. We always, these people that look for, the authorities that look for, they often find a way to get in our pockets one way or the other. So if NAS is successful with this aspect, and then another method or another bill or charge comes up. I'm just looking for what specific reforms you think might protect Nigeria's bank customers in the long run.
This is not a matter of reform. It's a matter of the fight between profitability and customer service. You go out to seek customers' deposits. You get me now? Then you don't make it difficult for people to have access to their money. This thing happened on the eve of the election. It was meant to derail the election. You get me? The election held, but those who are put in power by that should have rescinded this thing since.
Yeah.
It's like what we had during COVID, the lockdown. These people worked at home. You know, that caused the economy, all economies all over the world. They are just recovering from that, and our own is not immune to that. But you see, some people still want to work at home. I read something about JP Morgan, one of the leading banks in the world, say that era is gone. They want their people to come and work in the office. You get me? So these are dynamics of economic vicissitudes, ups and downs. So don't call it reform. Let people react to grievances of customers. Let banks know that they can make profit without reducing the quality of life of those who put their money in their banks. That's it.
Well, we'll see how this goes, and hopefully Nigerians will have to, get this smile to the bank in the end. Thank you so much, Mr. Dayo Sobowale, for your take on the show.